The minister has indicated that this is a very small amount, 1% of the total tax credits that are given to the entirety of the industry. This amount is very large for those animation studios that are located inside of the Okanagan, whose only main competitive advantage is that they have and can offer this additional tax credit. It allows them to be competitive on a global stage because they are up against Italy. They are up against companies that are outside of Canada's borders. The minister has attempted to explain to me why it actually is inconsequential, and they'll still be eligible for tax credits that everyone else within the province is eligible for. But I have drawn her attention to letters like from John Summerland, the Okanagan Film Commissioner. And to quote from his letter that the minister has received, he says, and I quote, "The exclusion of animation productions from regional tax credits jeopardizes these businesses' sustainability and undermines our progress." And he's referencing progress of the industry as a whole. Copernicus Studios says, and I quote, "This expansion is now very much impacted by the proposed changes to the tax credit and subsequently in doubt." That's another 100 jobs. The brief that was given to the minister, that's actually from the new owner of Artists Animation Studio, he actually says, and I quote, "Why this will severely impact studios like mine," and he goes on for 3 pages. He says, "UBC Kelowna and Okanagan College have partnered with our industry in Kelowna to support and build excellence in their animation curriculum." We have another letter actually from CATO, the Center for Arts and Technology, that describes how, and I quote from their letter, "Many of our students come from to our school from remote rural areas of British Columbia, Alberta, and Saskatchewan. Most often, they choose to attend school in Kelowna because moving here is less daunting and financially more viable than moving to a big city like Vancouver. But additionally, they are compelled to enroll in our school because of the historic ability to place them in a smaller local studios like Artist Animation Studio, Monster Puppy, and the satellite studio of Bardell Entertainment." But I think that Rick says it the best, and I'll quote him here. "Eventually, the loss of talents and projects will likely force us to exit Kelowna permanently." So while this might be a very small amount of taxation, very small as the government runs an $8 billion deficit, it is very large to the animation studios that are located in the Okanagan and on the island. My hopefully close to last question is, given the potential repercussions, including the decimation of local regional studios and the adverse effects on jobs and economic activity in our region, what alternative measures or strategies will be considered to support the animation industry while addressing concerns?
Thank you, Chair. So I just want to clarify, just so that the member make sure that we both are on the same wavelength here. The 1% that I'm talking about, the 1% of credit amounts claimed that's only claimed by the animation industry. That is not 1% of the total amount of the tax credits. It's only the animation industry. And I think that the member herself has already talked about the competitive advantages of living in Kelowna for students, but also for the industry. It's a cheaper cost of living, a smaller community, people want to be there. People move to Kelowna because they want to be there. So, I mean, she's already identified what the competitive advantage is for those industries. Besides, they also still get 58% tax cuts to pay for their tax credits, to pay for their labor. Again, I don't know any other industry in BC that gets 58% credit to pay for their labor.
And just for the minister's information, it's actually not less expensive to live in Kelowna. Many things are more expensive. Things like we don't have the same transit opportunities that you would have if you lived in a downtown core of Vancouver. Our rental rates are almost identical. The average housing prices are very similar. So while Vancouver might be number one, well, Kelowna still ranks above Langley or Burnaby on the rental rates and on all of the housing prices. So it certainly isn't. And what I can say is that this tax credit has gone an incredible way to actually create and sustain an industry that now is threatened and could be in jeopardy by something that the minister acknowledged was really an inconsequential and small amount within the overall incentives.